Thank you. Happening today, teachers in northern Kentucky will once again protest a Senate bill that threatens education funding and retirement benefits for teachers. 9 on your side's Allie Kramer has been covering the issue for weeks now. She's joining us live in Campbell County this time, where teachers are going to be protesting today. Allie.
Good morning, Catherine. Well, I've been talking with teachers over these past several weeks, and they say that there's misconceptions about this Senate bill and what it could potentially do to their retirement. Now, they say that they were promised a pension and that they do not pay into Social Security. So losing that pension would impact their retirement long term, something that they say was promised to them. Now, we saw last week teachers in Campbell County actually marching along Turkey Foot Road. That's just outside Kaywood Elementary. They were trying to show unity against the Senate bill, but it's not just about teacher pensions. The bill would dramatically cut funding for services in schools like speech therapy and family resource centers, which provide low-income students with food, clothing, and school supplies. One teacher says they've already taken a $4,500 cut this year, and further cuts could threaten their ability to provide for those students.
It's heartbreaking. We have about 60% of our kids that are low income, so there's definitely a huge need for that. And it's just tough not knowing where they're going to get the support from.
Now, teachers in Boone County also protested or rallied together last week, as well as Kenton County. And today they'll be outside here at Johnson Elementary in Campbell County about 7:15. Important to note that these teachers are not disrupting the actual school day. They'll gather both before and after school. Reporting live this morning in Campbell County, I'm Allie Kramer. 9 on your side.
Allie, thank you. Thousands of people marched for new gun laws this weekend across the country, including here in Cincinnati. So what happens now? The organizers, students who survived last month's shooting in Parkland, Florida, say this movement is just beginning. They say November's midterm elections are the next thing they want to influence. Organizers registered people to vote at events across the country and say now they're focused on keeping that energy alive.
I want the energy and anger of the people to kind of increase exponentially from the days to come. But this is only the beginning, so I'm really excited for what it represented and, what's going to come out of it.
You might have noticed a lot of people wore orange to the march. That's the color that hunters wear so they are not shot by other hunters. So that's kind of become the color of this movement. And new this morning, volunteering for a cause. That's what a group of Xavier students did over spring break. 9 on your side's Palace Suro shows us how.
They traded sun and sand for snow and cold.
I think it'd be nice just to see the animals like in the green grass.
Yeah. And the beach for an 8-hour drive to a farm sanctuary in New York.
Every day we would just go hang out with the animals, so I miss ending my day with that.
While some worked in the barns with the animals, others painted a house. A spring break trip this group of Xavier University students will never forget.
Do you have the video of the goat unzipping your coat? Getting the opportunity to hear these animals' stories, hear what their lives were like before they were rescued, just really hit home. It really, made us think that all animals aren't so different than the ones that we already cherish as pets.
Although they're back to hitting the books, the trip changed some for good.
I definitely don't feel like I want to eat meat for a while. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. You just think about the animals that you developed these connections with.
Junior Samantha Mainland is one of 4 in the group who wasn't vegan or vegetarian before the trip, but they were encouraged to eat vegan that whole week.
And that was all vegan food.
It's not necessary to use a straw every time you go out to eat, things like that, just slowly cutting back, and it will have a positive impact.
It's part of their alternative spring break program where students go to a destination and experience something life-changing.
They take in and rescue animals from abuse cases or from factory farms that have been mistreated.
Paola Suro, 9 on your side.
6:37 now, proposing gun reform. A local leader will outline possible changes in the next few hours. And she's the Butler County dog that had so many cheering for her after suffering. She had a big milestone this weekend. Jennifer.
Well, we're kind of hitting a milestone in the forecast this week. Let's just put an end to snow. Just done. Well, let's be done with it for this March. We are trending warmer today. Highs will be in the low 50s with mostly cloudy skies. Coming up, I'm diving into that opening day forecast. But first, here's today's Traveler's Forecast.
Joseph Chevrolet on Coleraine is Cincinnati's low-price used car leader. Guaranteed credit approval. If you've got a job, you've got a loan. Chevrolet, find new roads.
You're watching Good Morning Tri-State at 6 on 9 on your side.
6:40 now. All right, let's get you out the door. It is time for 9 minutes of nonstop news this morning, starting with a preview of a big event today, an announcement from Democratic Senator Cecil Thomas. He's going to introduce new legislation for gun reform, and 9 on Your Side reporter TJ Parker is live and over the Rhine, and that's where Senator Thomas will make that announcement this morning. TJ.
Yeah, Catherine, Thomas will introduce this comprehensive package of legislation in an effort to curb gun violence. He will do that here at Washington Park at 10 this morning. He'll be joined with several other people who are for gun safety. Now, this all comes just this past weekend after that March for Our Lives rally that was held across the country as well as here in Cincinnati. Those rallies mostly organized by students who are calling for gun control reform. This after nearly a month and a half since the Parkland, Florida school shooting. This is video from the rally outside of City Hall on Saturday. It was part of a month-long effort to honor the 17 students and faculty members who were killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School and to get people across the country to say enough to gun violence. Here locally, at least 1,000 people marched through downtown Cincinnati calling for safer schools in their communities. That march lasted for a few hours. As for today's announcement, Cecil Thomas has not told us yet what his legislation package entails, but of course we will be here and bring that to you starting at 9 on Your Side at noon. Live and over the Rhine, I'm TJ Parker, 9 on Your Side.
TJ, thank you. Now funeral arrangements have been announced for the 9-year-old and his mother who were killed in Burlington last week. Aiden Kramer and his mother Kelly were found dead inside their apartment. Their visitation service is tomorrow from 4 to 7:30 at Newcomer Cremation and Funerals in Erlanger. A private burial for Aiden will be held at a later date. The street surrounding the pedestrian bridge that collapsed near Florida International University is back open this morning, actually reopened on Saturday, but this will be the first rush hour, if you will, for that stretch of road. It had been shut down since March 15th when the bridge collapsed. 6 people, including a student, a father of 3, a business owner, were among those who died. Still no word on what caused that bridge to collapse, and that investigation continues. 6:42. Let's check in on traffic and weather together to get you going on this Monday, kicking things off with Jennifer Ketchmark.
I feel like I've been regaled to the weather wall today to stay away from people, because it's like she talked about snow the last time she was on TV, so let's just keep her away. Here's the good news. This week, it is not about snow in the forecast. We are trending warmer. Moisture is building up from the southwest, and this will lead to several chances of rain this week. But let's just put that 4-letter word that nobody wants to talk about and put it on the side and keep it there, maybe until, I don't know, November, December. Temperatures outside this morning, 37 degrees in Cincinnati, 37 as well for Lawrenceburg, out in Maysville, even over into Hillsborough. Wilmington still is my coldest spot at 32, but you know what? After a weekend with snowfall, this isn't bad. We can handle. And it's actually a green light forecast to work today as clouds continue to increase, and even on that way home, still staying mostly cloudy. But highs this afternoon should make it to the low 50s. Southeast winds, although breezy at times today, it's pushing in that warmer air, and eventually moisture will join it. Tonight we start with some spotty to isolated showers in the overnight hours. So we drop only to 44 degrees, so well above freezing, no chances of any of those wintry types of precipitation. And tomorrow we continue increasing, upper 50s with some hit or miss rain chances. Also another breezy day, but you know what, 59 gets us into that warmer territory and more normal for late March. So here's a closer look at what comes in first thing Tuesday morning. We will see those isolated showers overnight. It doesn't look like a total washout though early tomorrow morning. I'll keep an eye on the radar for you and of course tune in for the latest on that. But you know, we will end up with some spotty rain chances Tuesday late morning into midday. Some windows of opportunity though will develop, you know, regardless of location. This is not going to be a rain that is from start to finish in your day. Later on Tuesday evening, cold front though is out there, and that will start to bring in some better chances for showers for late Tuesday evening and especially going into Wednesday morning. That's when this cold front comes through and it gets Cincinnati in that area where rain looks a bit more likely Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. But again, windows of opportunity here. It should not rain all day Wednesday with the way things are looking this morning. But there's always a caveat to it, isn't there? So on Thursday, because of this stalling out system and a cold front to the north, both are going to kind of join forces on Thursday to get rain chances back in, especially in the evening, which Thursday's opening day. We've got a 4:05 game start. Fingers crossed that rain holds off, although it does not look like thunderstorms are currently in the forecast, but some good old soakers are coming into the tri-state. The amount of rain this week could easily top 1 inch here in Cincinnati and across the tri-state. But temperatures are staying mild through the extended, and we'll take it, especially after this past weekend. All right, well, let's check in with Jacqueline, who is officially thawing from the snow, and I think she's willing to talk to me again.
Yeah, man, it was cold out there on Saturday. Whew. All right, so right now 275 eastbound right at Mosteller. We do have a crash that's out there, and it's just before this camera view. They just turned the camera around to the opposite way, but hopefully we'll get a closer look at this a little bit later. But again, 275 eastbound at